I thought everything was perfect with Emily. I really did. Hey, I'm heading home early today, I told Alex as I ended a late-night call. You sure? You sounded off earlier, he replied, his voice low, cautious. I'm fine, I said, forcing a laugh. Just a rough day at work. All right, man. Call me if you need anything. I hung up and grabbed my coat. The office lights dimmed, leaving me with the hum of the elevator. The closer I got to home, the heavier the pit in my stomach grew. I shook it off. Emily and I had been together for 2 years. She was smart, charming, beautiful. She had her quirks, but we were happy, weren't we? The door opened. The apartment smelled faintly of vanilla. Emily wasn't in the living room. Emily? I called. Silence. A soft clatter came from the kitchen. I rounded the corner. She was on her phone, her back to me. Hey babe, I said casually. She jumped, flustered. Oh, I didn't hear you come in. Long day? I asked, watching her swipe at her screen, her eyes flickering briefly to mine before returning to whatever she was reading. Yeah, work stuff, she muttered too quickly. I nodded, pretending not to notice the tension in her shoulders. Dinner's ready in 10 minutes? Sure. I guess, she said, voice distant. I sank into the couch, my mind spinning. That coldness, that hesitation, it didn't fit. But I wanted to believe everything was normal. Maybe I was imagining things. Then my phone buzzed. Alex again. Everything okay? He asked. Yeah. Just tired. You sure? He always knew when something was off. I'm fine, I repeated, tighter this time. I'll call you later. Emily walked past me to the bedroom. I noticed the faint smell of another perfume. My heart skipped. Probably just laundry detergent. Right? I told myself that. Minutes later, I heard the faint vibration of a phone. Emily's. She laughed softly, low enough for me not to hear words, but loud enough to freeze me. My stomach turned. I whispered to myself, it's nothing, just your imagination. I tried to focus on dinner, but my hands trembled slightly as I stirred the sauce. A creak upstairs made me freeze. My pulse raced. The apartment was supposed to be empty except for us. Emily? I called, my voice steadier than I felt. No answer. I stood, every instinct screaming. Another creak. A muffled laugh. My heart thudded. I crept to the staircase. Who's there? I demanded. Silence. Then, a soft shuffle like someone moving quickly across the floor. I stopped, my hand on the railing. Emily, what are you doing? Nothing. Only the faint buzz of her phone downstairs, abandoned on the counter. I felt a cold weight settle in my chest. That perfect illusion, the life I thought I had, it didn't feel so perfect anymore. I barely breathed as I crept up the stairs, each step careful, silent. My heart thumped so loud I thought Emily would hear it from the bedroom. Emily? I whispered, testing the silence. A soft laugh answered me. Not her laugh. Someone else's. I froze. The door to our bedroom was slightly ajar. I edged closer, peering through the crack. There they were. Emily, leaning against the dresser, smiling that way she reserved for me, only it wasn't me she was looking at. And him, Mark. My stomach dropped. I'd seen him once at a party, polite, distant. I never thought I'd know him like this, inside my own home. Mark, you didn't have to come over, Emily said, her voice casual, almost lazy. I wanted to, he replied, grinning. I didn't think anyone would mind. Her laugh sent a shiver through me. Well, technically I guess nobody minds. Not here anyway. I felt my hands clench. My chest tightened. Every word cut like glass. Did you think about me? He asked, stepping closer. I do, she said softly, brushing her fingers across his arm. More than you know. My knees felt weak. No, this isn't real, I muttered under my breath. Mark laughed again. You're unbelievable, Emily. You make this so easy. I like it easy, she said, her tone playful. I'm tired of complications. Complications. Her and me. My mind scrambled. She was talking like I didn't exist. I wanted to storm in. To yell. To smash something. But I couldn't move. My body refused. I was trapped by shock, disbelief, and anger. Wait, Mark said suddenly. You said you loved him? Emily shrugged casually. I did. But things change, Mark. People change. My heart shattered. She said she loved me. My voice trembled as I whispered to myself, change? This is betrayal. Mark chuckled. So, he has no idea? Emily tilted her head, eyes gleaming. Of course not. He thinks I'm perfect. Perfect. She laughed again. Perfect. That word tasted bitter. I pressed myself against the wall, breathing shallowly. Every laugh, every touch, every careless word, they were all directed at him. Not me. Emily, do you care about him at all? Mark asked. Her eyes softened, but only for him. I cared. I care. But not enough to stop this. I couldn't move. I couldn't speak. My world tilted. The woman I trusted, the life I thought I had, gone in an instant. I can't believe you actually let this happen, he said, shaking his head. Why not? She replied, shrugging. I'm tired of pretending. I deserve what I want. My hands shook. My mind screamed to intervene. Emily, how could you? No answer. She didn't hear me, or worse, she didn't care. Let's just enjoy tonight, Mark said, pulling her closer. I felt bile rise. Every step I had imagined taking toward her felt impossible. I was frozen, but my mind raced. I needed a plan. I couldn't confront her now, not like this, not while my emotions were raw. I stepped back quietly, careful not to creak the floorboards. My chest heaved as I retreated to the hallway, just far enough to disappear from their sight. Emily, I whispered, voice trembling, barely audible. You'll regret this. She laughed again, light and careless. It made my blood boil. I backed down the stairs slowly, keeping my eyes on the bedroom. The more I watched, the more my anger mixed with heartbreak. Every lie she had told me, every secret smile and whispered excuse, now made sense. Mark's voice carried down the hall. You really shouldn't let him find out. Emily giggled. He won't. He's too blind to see anything. Blind. Too blind to see anything. My fists clenched. He doesn't know yet, but he will. I reached the bottom of the stairs. My hands were shaking and I swallowed hard. My plan was forming, a quiet, deadly sort of plan. I wouldn't let this slide. Not now, not ever. I slipped into the living room, heart still pounding. My head was spinning with betrayal, rage, and disbelief. I grabbed my phone and dialed Alex, my voice low and controlled. Alex, you're not going to believe this. He didn't answer immediately, and I whispered to myself, no one's going to believe this. I sank into the couch, silent, listening to their laughter above. I needed time. I needed a plan. One thing was certain. Emily's perfect illusion was over. I didn't sleep. Not really. I kept seeing them, Emily and Mark, laughing, touching, whispering. I shoved my hands into my hair and muttered, how could I be so blind? Alex called again in the morning. You okay, man? No, I said flatly. I can't. God, Alex, I saw them. Saw who? His voice tensed. Emily, Mark, together. In my own bedroom. There was a pause. Shit, dude. I'm sorry. Sorry doesn't fix this. I yelled even though he wasn't there. I can't stop seeing it. Every laugh, every touch, it's burned into my brain. Take a breath. You need to think. I can't just think. I muttered, pacing. I missed all the signs, Alex. All the damn signs. The calls, the nights she said she was tired, the perfume. Do you want revenge? He asked quietly. I don't know, I admitted. Part of me wants to just confront her, make her feel what I feel. But another part, I trailed off, gripping my phone. I got up, needing air. I wandered into the kitchen. Emily's mug was still on the counter. I picked it up, remembering the countless mornings we'd laughed over coffee. Now it felt like a relic of a life that didn't exist. Later I called Daniel, my coworker. Hey, you busy? Not really. Everything okay? I need to talk. About betrayal. He laughed nervously. All right. Shoot. I spilled, but carefully. I saw her, with another man. I can't unsee it. I don't know what to do. Damn, man. That's rough. I mean, have you confronted her? Not yet. I can't. I'm trying to plan. Planning? Yes. Watching. Observing. She lies easily, too easily. Every smile, every excuse I notice now. I hung up and paced again. My mind raced. Emily's friend Sarah had stopped by earlier, claiming to just check in. She smiled too much, laughed too easily at Emily's jokes. Something about her loyalty felt fake, almost protective of Emily in a way that ignored right and wrong. I noted it mentally, a new piece in this puzzle. I whispered to myself, how long has she been lying to me? Was it always like this? The memory of last night's laughter haunted me. The soft way Emily brushed against Mark's arm, the way she whispered without care. My chest burned. I thought back to small things I had ignored. Her sudden phone privacy, unexplained weekend trips, those nights she stayed late at work. Every excuse, every gentle lie I let slide, it all made sense now. I muttered to myself, pacing the living room. I should forgive. Maybe I can, or maybe I should confront her. Or, my jaw tightened. Revenge. I can't just sit here. I remembered Alex's warning, don't do something you'll regret. I ran my hands over my face. What's worse? Doing nothing or letting her get away with it? Later Sarah called. Hey, just wanted to see how you're doing. Fine, I said cautiously. You and Emily hanging out? Of course. Why wouldn't we? She laughed. She's amazing, really? Aha, I muttered. Her tone too sweet, too loyal, like she was defending something she shouldn't have. I hung up and collapsed onto the couch. My thoughts circled endlessly. Forgiveness, confrontation, revenge. Each felt wrong but necessary in some way. I had to decide or I'd drown in my own heartbreak. Emily appeared briefly in the kitchen, smiling casually. Morning. Coffee? I stared at her, forcing calm. Yeah, thanks. She didn't notice the storm behind my eyes. I wanted to shake her, yell, ask why, but I held myself back. Not yet. I had to think. I whispered, more to myself than to her. I can't let this slide. Not now. Not ever. The day stretched endlessly. Every glance at her, every word felt like a test. Every lie I noticed, every subtle betrayal fueled my growing need for justice. By evening, I had decided I wouldn't confront blindly. I would watch, gather proof, plan carefully. My heartbreak had turned into a quiet, burning resolve. Emily had no idea what was coming, and I would make sure she felt the weight of every lie. I couldn't sit still. Every thought kept circling back to last night, the laughter, the touches, the whispers. I had to do something. I refused to be a victim. I called Alex first thing in the morning. Alex, I need your advice. Or help. I'm not sure which yet. Careful, man. You're still raw. Don't do anything stupid, he warned. I know what I'm doing, I said sharply. I can't just sit here and pretend everything's fine. I need to watch, understand. I need to expose them. Alex sighed. Fine. But slow. Observe first. Don't confront without proof. I'm not confronting yet, I assured him. I'm watching. Tracking patterns. Timing. She can't fool me twice. I hung up and started taking notes. Emily's phone habits, her sudden excuses, her little disappearances, all made sense now. She called Mark mostly after work, but sometimes during lunch breaks. I noticed the subtle way she smiled at texts, the quick glances to hide the screen. Every movement, every word told me more than she knew. Later Alex called back. You're obsessing, dude. Calm down. Obsessing? I snapped. I'm being thorough. I'm not letting her slide. I'm making sure everything's undeniable before I act. You sound different. Angry. I get it, man. But don't let it consume you. I won't, I said, but the truth burned inside me. I couldn't stop the anger, the pride, the need to control the situation. It was like a fire I couldn't douse. I watched Emily carefully over the next few days. Every smile, every laugh with Mark, every careless comment, they added pieces to the puzzle. I noted when she left the apartment, who she called, which streets she drove. I realized how overconfident she was, thinking I was blind, thinking I'd never notice. Alex asked during one call, so, you're spying now? I'm observing, I corrected, biting my lip. There's a difference. I need proof. Everything needs to be undeniable. I can't let this be brushed off as imagination. Man, you're turning into a detective. Maybe I am, I muttered. Maybe that's what it takes when someone betrays you this deeply. That night, Emily was on her phone again, whispering, laughing softly. I held back, pretending to read, but my eyes didn't leave her. She looked so casual, so certain. My blood boiled. Alex called again. Any progress? Yes. I know their routine. I know when she's gone, when he comes around. I know she's planning something this weekend. Weekend? He asked. She's planning a trip. With him. A getaway. Jesus. That's bold. It's perfect, I said quietly. It's the opportunity one need. Alex didn't reply immediately. Be careful, man. Don't let your pride ruin this. You're walking a thin line. I'm aware, I said, but I didn't mention my pulse racing at the thought of confronting them, my heart thrumming with a mix of anger and excitement. I wasn't just hurt. I wanted control, dominance, justice. And I would have it. I started making mental notes, imagining every scenario, arriving unexpectedly, catching them off guard, revealing everything. My mind ran faster than my heart could keep pace. My impulsiveness, my obsession. It terrified me how precise I was becoming. Then, as if on cue, Emily casually mentioned to Sarah on the phone, "Mark and I are heading out this weekend. Don't tell anyone, okay? It's our little escape." I froze, listening carefully. My chance had arrived. Everything I needed, the timing, the secrecy, the overconfidence, was right there. I whispered to myself, "This is it. This is how I get the truth. And how I make them pay." Alex called again. Did she actually say that? Yeah. Weekend getaway. Alone. I grinned a cold, sharp grin. Everything's in place. The plan starts now. "You're serious," he said quietly. "I'm deadly serious," I replied. "I've been patient long enough. Now it's time to act smart, not impulsive. Well, not completely impulsive. Just promise me you won't burn yourself in the process." "I won't," I said, though my eyes narrowed with determination. "This ends my way, my terms. She thinks she's untouchable. She's about to find out she isn't." I hung up and stared at Emily casually scrolling on her phone, completely oblivious. Every detail I had tracked, every small secret led to this moment. My pride, my obsession, my anger, they were all weapons now. I whispered to myself again, a quiet promise. "You can run, Emily. But this weekend I'll have the upper hand." I sank back, letting a cold satisfaction settle in. Observation, patience, timing, that was my strength. And now the stage was set. I acted normal around Emily, though my mind raced constantly. Every word, every glance was calculated. She didn't suspect a thing. "Morning," she said brightly as I poured my coffee. "Morning," I replied evenly. "Sleep well?" "Yeah, why?" she asked, tilting her head. "Just asking," I said casually, hiding the storm inside me. Later, I sent a text to Mark, posing as a friend confirming his hotel booking. "Hey, just checking the reservation. You got it?" A minute later, his reply came. "Yeah, all set. Can't wait." I smirked. Perfect. Every little detail I had gathered now made sense. Emily's messages with Sarah also helped. I skimmed them subtly, catching lines like, "Don't let anyone find out. Weekend is ours." My pulse quickened. The stage was set. Alex called. "You're really doing this?" "I have to," I said, lowering my voice. "Timing is everything. This weekend, they think they're untouchable. Careful, man. You're walking a thin line." "I know." The day moved slowly. Emily kept up her cheerful act, laughing at jokes I didn't find funny, smiling at texts I knew weren't mine. I pretended to scroll through my phone while my mind ran simulations. At lunch, I ran into Mark briefly. "Hey, didn't expect to see you here," I said, forcing casualness. He smirked. "Just grabbing a bite." "You." "Same." I studied him. Cocky, overconfident, completely unaware. Every gesture he made confirmed what I already knew. He thought he had the upper hand. Back at home, Emily asked, "You're quiet today. Everything okay?" "Just tired," I said lightly. "Long week." Her eyebrows shot up. "You've been off lately." "Stress." I smiled thinly. "Maybe. Or maybe I'm just noticing things." She laughed, unaware. "Noticing what?" I didn't answer, letting the question linger. That evening, I called the hotel, pretending to check another booking. The receptionist answered cheerfully. "Yes, sir. Your reservation is confirmed for this weekend." "Thank you," I said, noting the room number and timing. Every small detail mattered. Later, at dinner, Emily casually mentioned the weekend again. "Mark and I thought we'd get away for a couple of days. You don't mind, right?" I froze briefly, then smiled. "Of course not. Enjoy yourselves." Inside, I was already planning every move. Alex called again. "So, you're letting them go this far?" "They don't know I'm watching," I said. "They're arrogant, careless. I've got all the pieces." The waiter at the restaurant helped without knowing it. I casually asked, "Do you remember which room they're in?" "Yes, sir. Room 502, he said. I nodded, storing it in my memory. Every detail was ammunition. Later that night, Emily smiled at me, unaware of the storm brewing. "Thanks for understanding about the weekend." "Of course," I said, my tone light neutral, but inside my blood boiled. I checked Mark's social media later, noticing his bragging about the trip. He was confident, cocky, completely blind to what I knew. Alex's voice cut through my thoughts. "You really are playing a dangerous game." "I know," I said quietly, "but they won't see me coming. Not this time." The next morning I packed lightly. Just enough to follow, observe, and strike when the moment was right. My plan was precise, careful, and deadly. I wasn't rushing blindly. Every interaction, every move had been measured. Emily waved goodbye to me as she left with Mark. "Don't get into trouble while we're gone," she joked. I smiled, letting the words slide. "I'll behave." Once they were gone, I let a cold satisfaction settle in. The weekend trip was their mistake. Their overconfidence had handed me the opportunity one needed. I whispered to myself, pacing the apartment. They think they're free. They think they're untouchable. But I'm ready. Everything starts this weekend. I double-checked every note, every text, every observation. The plan was clear. The timing was perfect. And for the first time since the betrayal, I felt in control again. The moment was almost here. I stood outside room 502, my heart thundering so loudly I thought the whole hallway could hear it. My hand hovered over the door for a second before I knocked. From inside, I heard Emily's voice. "Did you order room service already?" Mark chuckled. "Relax, Em. Probably just the receptionist." I knocked again, harder. "Coming," Mark said. The door opened, and the second he saw me, his smirk evaporated. "What the hell?" I stepped inside without permission. "Surprised to see me?" Emily froze on the edge of the bed, her hands trembling. What are you doing here?" "You tell me," I answered, shutting the door behind me. "Weekend with your coworker?" "Original." Mark scoffed. "This is insane. You can't just barge in." "I can," I said, and I did. "Sit down." He puffed out his chest. "I'm not scared of you." "You should be," I replied, my voice ice cold. "Both of you should be." Emily stood up, face pale. "I can explain." "Please do," I said. "But start with why you told Sarah this trip was the perfect escape, and why Mark texted you that he couldn't wait to have you to himself." She stared at me, her mouth open but no words coming out. "You went through my phone?" she whispered. "No," I said calmly. "You left it unlocked. You handed me the truth yourself." Mark stepped closer to Emily. "You don't owe him anything. This relationship was already dying." I laughed bitterly. Funny, because 2 days ago Emily told me she needed space to think. Guest space meant a hotel room with you. Emily winced. "Please stop. Just let me explain." "Explain what?" I asked. "The reservations? The messages? The pictures from last month? Or the fact you thought you were smart enough to hide all this?" Mark crossed his arms. "You're being dramatic." I turned to him slowly. "Say that again." He raised an eyebrow. "You're being?" "Don't," Emily whispered sharply. "Just don't." I felt adrenaline surge through me, but underneath it all was the crushing ache of betrayal. "You know," I said, "I almost blamed myself. I thought maybe I wasn't good enough. Maybe I pushed too hard. Maybe my pride got in the way." Emily's eyes softened. "I never meant to hurt you." "You did," I said. "Every day you lied, every time you looked me in the eye, every message you sent him while pretending we were fine." Mark rolled his eyes. "Are you done? This is pathetic." I turned to him. "Really? Because I haven't even started." He stiffened. "What's that supposed to mean?" I pulled my phone from my pocket and played a voice recording. His voice echoed through the room. "Relax, Em, he's clueless. By the time he finds out, we'll be long gone. He's too soft to do anything anyway." Mark's face went white. You recorded me?" "No," I said. "The waiter did. You bragged loudly at lunch yesterday. You thought nobody was listening." Emily covered her mouth. "Mark, you said that?" Mark glared at me. "You set me up." "You set yourself up," I replied. "I'm just showing the truth." Emily sank onto the bed, tears pooling in her eyes. "I didn't know he talked about you like that." "Of course you didn't," I said. "You were too busy sneaking around with him to notice anything else." She shook her head. "I never wanted to hurt you." I was confused. I felt disconnected. I didn't know how to talk to you. I felt my chest tighten. "You talk to strangers better than you talk to me. You talked to him. You told him things you never told me." She sobbed quietly. "I'm sorry." "Sorry doesn't fix anything," I said. "Sorry doesn't erase months of lies." Mark stepped forward. "Enough. You made your point. Now leave." "I'm not finished," I said. "Not until she knows exactly how far this went." Emily looked up nervously. "What do you mean?" I took a breath. "Mark didn't just sleep with you behind my back." Her voice cracked. "What else?" I locked eyes with Mark. "Tell her. Or I will." Mark clenched his jaw. "Don't." "Tell her about Anna," I said. Emily's entire body stiffened. "Anna? Who is Anna?" Mark stayed silent. She's the girl he hooked up with last month, I said, at the bar near his office. He told his friends it was just a warm-up before this weekend. Emily stared at him, devastated. Mark, is that true? He didn't answer. Her voice rose. Mark? He snapped. Fine. Yes. But it meant nothing. It was just fun. Emily broke completely. You promised it was just us. You promised you cared. He shrugged. Don't be dramatic. She slapped him. The sound echoed across the room. I felt a surge of satisfaction, but also a sting of pity. Emily turned to me trembling. You knew all this, and you let me think everything was normal? Yes, I said. Because I needed the truth out in the open. No lies. No excuses. Just reality. She stepped back, her face full of horror. You planned this? I planned to stop being your fool, I replied. You thought I'd break quietly, that I wouldn't see anything. But I saw everything. Mark scoffed. You think exposing us makes you strong? No, I said. Walking away will. Emily whispered, almost choking. You knew everything? I nodded once. Every message, every plan, every lie. Her eyes widened, filling with dread, the realization finally hitting her like a punch to the chest. You knew everything, she repeated, her voice breaking. Yes, I said quietly. I knew everything. And for the first time since this nightmare began, the power shifted, completely, unmistakably, to me. The next morning, the apartment felt quieter, emptier. Emily and Mark were gone, and so was the illusion of my life. My phone buzzed immediately. Dude, I saw it online, Alex said. Everyone's talking. Viral man. They're exposed. I know, I said calmly. It's surreal seeing it in print. You okay? I am, I lied, but a small part of me felt vindicated. Finally, the truth is out. They can't deny it now. I hung up and got dressed. I had to face people, friends and coworkers who had no idea what had been happening behind closed doors. Daniel, my coworker, met me in the cafeteria. I heard what happened with Emily, he said, his voice low. That's a lot. Yeah, I replied, sipping my coffee. A lot of people will hear it now too. People are talking, he said. Some are judging you? Good, I said, letting the bitterness edge my words. I deserve the truth to be out. They deserved it too. He nodded slowly. It's harsh. But justice maybe? Justice doesn't always feel fair, I said quietly, thinking about the look on Emily's face when I confronted her. It just feels necessary. Later my sister called. I saw the news. Are you okay? I'm fine, I said, though my hands shook slightly. It's been intense. Do you want me to come over? She asked. No, I need space. I can't process in front of someone else yet. Emily called next. My chest tightened when I saw her name. I let it ring once, twice, then answered. Please just hear me out, she begged. I've heard enough, I said evenly. You betrayed me, Emily. There's nothing left to explain. I made a mistake, she whispered. I didn't think. You didn't think about me. You didn't think about us. You thought about yourself and him. That's all that matters. Tears pooled in her voice. I regretted every second. I'll do anything to make it right. You can't, I said. You can only live with what you did. That's your punishment. Please, don't hate me, she said. I'm beyond hate, I said. I'm done. I've moved past needing your approval. The only thing I needed was the truth, and I have it now. Mark tried to call too, but I didn't answer. Let him stew in his own arrogance and shame. A few friends came by, some curious, some sympathetic. Man, you handled it, one friend said. I don't know if I could have confronted them like that. It wasn't easy, I admitted. But letting them get away with it wasn't an option. Another friend nodded. You're different now. Stronger, I think. I laughed quietly. Different, yes. Stronger? Maybe. I don't know if revenge makes you strong. It makes you aware. It forces you to see the person you've become. I reflected on that as I walked through the park later. My phone buzzed constantly with news, gossip, messages from people I barely knew, all reacting to the scandal. Each notification reminded me that betrayal doesn't just affect two people. It ripples outward. I sat on a bench, letting the cold air hit my face. Alex texted, "You okay?" I typed back, "I think so. Maybe finally." I remembered the look on Emily's face when she realized I knew everything. That moment of pure horror. It had satisfied some dark part of me, yes, but it also left a hollow ache. Could exposing her really heal me? Or had I just given myself temporary satisfaction? I shook my head. I couldn't dwell on that. People had to face consequences. That was the only thing I could control. A neighbor waved. Saw the news. I'm sorry, man. What a mess. I nodded. It is. Later, Daniel stopped me in the elevator. You ever think you went too far? I hesitated. Maybe. But sometimes, people need to see the truth, even if it hurts them. You're calm, he said. Better than I expected. I've learned, I said softly, that calm is stronger than rage. Rage is quick, but calm lasts. Emily texted again that evening. Can we talk? Please. I stared at my phone, then deleted the message. Alex called after. You did the right thing. But, are you at peace? I'm getting there, I said. I won't lie. There's still pain. But I'm not defined by it anymore. I walked to the window looking at the city lights. The world went on indifferent to our drama. And so would I. I realized revenge hadn't healed everything. It hadn't erased betrayal, hadn't erased the hurt. But it gave me clarity, control, and the understanding that I didn't need anyone's forgiveness to move forward. Emily and Mark would live with their consequences. I would live with mine, and that, I decided, was enough. I whispered to myself quietly, almost like a vow. I am stronger. I am free. And I am done being anyone's fool. The world outside continued, busy and loud, but inside I felt an unfamiliar stillness, a quiet satisfaction, a step toward the man I wanted to be. The apartment felt different now, emptier, yes, but lighter too. No laughter from Emily, no arrogant comments from Mark. Just silence. I breathed it in like a bomb, but my chest still carried the weight of the past months. Alex called first thing in the morning. You've been quiet, he said. Trying to enjoy it, I replied, pouring myself coffee. Quiet doesn't happen often in my life. Good. You earned it, he said, and I heard the faint relief in his voice. So, any plans now? Rebuilding, I said, letting the word hang. Life isn't going to fix itself, and neither am I if I don't take control. He chuckled softly. Look at you, all philosophical. Who are you these days? Someone who finally sees clearly, I said. Someone who won't let anyone play me like a fool again. Later I ran into Daniel at work. You look different, he said, eyes sharp. Not bitter. Calm maybe? Better than calm, I corrected. Focused. I've spent months drowning in betrayal, Daniel. Now it's time to swim. You're serious about moving on? More serious than ever, I said. I've learned a lot. About people, about myself, and about what I will tolerate. Daniel nodded. Smart. Hard to do that after what you went through. It's not easy, I admitted. But revenge, closure, they only get you so far. Real change comes from here. I tapped my chest. From knowing your worth. By afternoon, I went through Emily's remaining texts and emails, not out of obsession but to sever the ties. I deleted every message, every reminder, every digital footprint that linked me to her. Each deletion felt like another chain snapping. Alex texted, "Are you sure you're ready?" I typed back, "I have to be. It's over." A week later, I met Mia at a cafe. A friend of a friend, nothing serious, just someone new in my world. She laughed easily, genuinely, without hidden motives. She reminded me that life wasn't just about pain or revenge. "You come here often?" she teased, sipping her tea. "Not really," I said, smiling. "First time actually noticing the place." She grinned. "Good first impression, I hope." "You've made it memorable," I said, realizing I hadn't smiled like this in months. It wasn't romance, at least not yet. It was hope, simple and unforced. That evening I called Alex. "You won't believe the calm I feel," I said, stretching my arms on the balcony. The city lights twinkled like distant stars. "It's strange, almost liberating." "Good," he said. "That's exactly how it should feel." "Did Emily try to reach out?" "Once," I admitted. "I didn't answer. There's nothing left to discuss." "Smart," he said. "Let her live with what she did." "Exactly," I replied. "I'm done carrying her mistakes with me. She won't poison my future." The next morning I took a box from the closet. Inside were keepsakes from the relationship. Photos, letters, a bracelet Emily loved. My fingers lingered over them briefly, memories flooding. The hurt, the laughter, the betrayal, all mingled together. I dialed Alex. "You still up?" "For what?" "Witness," I said simply. He arrived 10 minutes later. I opened the balcony door, the city wind brushing past us. "This ends today," I said, placing the box on the railing. Alex frowned. You sure? I've never been more sure, I said. I grabbed a lighter and held it over the box. Flames licked the edges. Emily's photos curled, letters blackened, bracelet melting. Smoke swirled, taking with it the last remnants of her presence in my life. Alex watched silently. You feel free? More than ever, I said. This isn't just about her. It's about me. Letting go finally. No more bitterness, no more regrets, no more chains. After the box was gone, I exhaled deeply. The city lights looked different now, softer, almost welcoming. In the following days, life returned to a normal rhythm. I focused on work, friendships, and self-improvement. I signed up for the gym again, took evening walks, and even started journaling to track my growth. Mia and I met occasionally, nothing forced, just conversations and coffee. I noticed how natural it felt to laugh without fear of betrayal or deceit. It's nice, I admitted one evening, feeling like people are genuine again. She smiled. It's rare. Don't take it for granted. I won't, I said. I've learned the hard way. One afternoon, Alex and I grabbed lunch. So, what's next for you? He asked. I leaned back, considering. I don't know exactly. Maybe focus on building myself first. Maybe explore new things. I'm done being reactive. I want to be proactive. In every part of my life. You've come a long way, he said. I'm proud of you, man. You could have let this destroy you, but you didn't. I'm not perfect, I admitted. I've got my flaws. My pride, my obsession, my temper, they all showed up during this. But I've learned to channel them instead of letting them control me. And Emily? He asked quietly. I shook my head. She's gone from my life. Permanently. No more calls, no more texts, no more chances. I've forgiven her in my own way, not for her, but for me. So I can move forward without dragging the past along. Daniel stopped by the apartment the next day. I just want to say, you've handled everything better than anyone could expect. You're different, but in a good way. Thanks, I said, smiling faintly. Different feels good sometimes. I'm finally building my own story, not reacting to someone else's mistakes. That night, I sat on the balcony again, staring at the stars. I imagined all the moments I had lost, the trust, the love, the dreams, and instead of grief, I felt clarity. I felt a path opening before me, bright and mine to walk. I whispered quietly, a vow and a release. I am done. I am free. I am stronger. I will not let anyone else's betrayal define me. The wind carried my words away, and for the first time in months, I felt a lightness, a release. No more anger. No more obsession. Just life, mine to live, unshackled and open to possibility. Mia's laughter echoed in my mind from earlier that day, a reminder that hope exists even after pain. And I knew finally that I could welcome it without fear. The past was behind me. The mistakes, the betrayals, the heartbreak, they were all lessons now, ashes in the wind. And I was ready to begin again.